Something I come across an awful lot in my career as the gym starter personal trainer is people who are just petrified of going to the gym. So this video is going to outline why you no longer need to be scared about going to the gym and strategies that will hopefully help you overcome that barrier. And it's coming up right now. In my career, I had clients come to me because I am the gym starter, and they know that I'm the person that's going to make them feel safe. They know I'm the person that's going to make them feel comfortable and confident in the gym. That's really why I started. That's really why I was called the gym starter, because I wanted to make the gym a welcoming place. I wanted to make it a place where people feel comfortable and confident and not judged, and all of these things. I'm not an expert in anxiety. I'm a personal trainer. Lots of experience about taking beginners, people who've never been in the gym, people who are petrified about going to the gym, taking them through that experience and giving them empowerment and independence on the other side. So if you're watching this and you do suffer with extreme social anxiety, if you do suffer with fear greater than something you think you can overcome, mainly because there are other people around you all of the time, then please, please, please don't take my advice. Reach out to a professional. Reach out to someone who can really help you with that. I'm just literally here dealing with someone who just feels self-conscious in the gym. So if that's you, keep watching. If it's not you, if you think you might still learn something from this video, then keep watching. You're more than welcome to be here. But please, please, please make sure you seek out the right help for whatever it is you are worrying about. That place over there, a long, long way away, that place full of people who are is a very scary place to be. I've written a blog on this, and on that blog I share a photo of myself when I was 22, 23, and I was skinny. I mean, I still am quite skinny, but I was really skinny. And I used to be very intimidated by the gym. I used to walk in and I used to just think I was inadequate. I used to think there was no conceivable way that anyone in this building is going to value my presence here, because I couldn't chest press more than 5 kilos, like with 5 kilo dumbbells. I had 5 kilos in my hands, and that was as heavy as I could go. I felt like the whole gym was laughing at me. In truth, what I now know, I was laughing at myself. And that is something that takes a long time to overcome. That's not something that is very easy to comprehend, and it's really hard because you feel like you're your own safety blanket. You feel like you're your own comfort, and if you can't not laugh at yourself, then how can you expect others to not be laughing at you? But the truth for me was I was definitely the only person who thought like that. Yes, I was very weak. Yes, I was very skinny. Yes, I used to have to wear extra small clothes because of how much they kind of wrapped around my body up here, and I thought that made me look a bit more muscular. It didn't. It just made me look like an idiot. And then I felt really uncomfortable in those clothes. The gym is a very intimidating place. It can be a very intimidating place to those who misunderstand it, to those who feel that they're very much being judged, of course, by anyone else in there. What I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, is most people who look at you in the gym are looking at you because they are blinking impressed with what you're doing. They're just like enjoying watching you work hard. They're enjoying being in and amongst your presence. But that can be a really hard thing to comprehend when you struggle with your own presence as well. That's something I overcome, and I only overcome it through hard work, through diligence, and through exposure. Fear is false expectation appearing real. I was expecting everyone to consider how useless I was because of how weak I was. And that was my own insecurity. That was my own false expectation appearing real. And that's why I didn't enjoy going to the gym for probably a good 9 years of my life. I always tried to go to the gym. I always gave it another shot. I always was like, this time it'll change. And I've always pretty much had a gym membership. And as I grew older, I You're probably looking at this going, older? You're like a baby. I'm 33 years old. As I grew older, I realized more and more that my fear was my fear and it wasn't the reality of what was going on. But I was only willing to learn that because I was willing to fight that false expectation. Many of my clients, they worry about their body weight. Many, probably all of them actually. They're scared of what the scale will say to them. In fact, many of them are petrified of the scale. But I'm telling you this, the only way in which we can overcome a fear that we have is through exposure to it. So if that's the scale, you need to learn to get on it each and every day. If that's the gym, you need to somehow find a way of figuring out how to get into the gym. And that's what the rest of this video is going to tackle for you. Everyone in the gym is actually a beginner. And now that might sound crazy to you, but the gym is a place or a workout, a program. When we program strength training, when I program strength training for my clients, I'm always pushing the boundary of where they can go. On Instagram last night, I put this post up. Things that should get easier over time. And the one thing that shouldn't get easier over time in your fitness is your workout. Because what we do is we do something called progressive overload. We're all working from a state of being a beginner. Whether that be, I've never lifted on the bench press 58 kilograms before, then the first time I'm attempting that makes me a beginner. I'm as much as a beginner as you are. We're all beginners in the gym. So when you step in there, don't look at people and think, well, they've clearly got it sorted. If they're following a proper program, every time they're in the gym, they're a beginner. And that's a comforting thought. So yeah, you might be a beginner lifting 10 kilos above your head. Someone else is a beginner lifting 60 kilos off their chest. Don't think that person is better than you. Don't think that person is going to judge you. You're both starting out on a new journey every time you walk into the gym. Something I get, especially in the first few sessions with someone, is they'll say, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. And I'll be like, no, we need to work on your technique. Oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. Listen very carefully. And if you can get your head around this concept, you'll fly whenever you do a workout. You'll have the best time. You need to remember, there is no right or wrong, just exploration. All the gym is an exploration of your body that day. It's a place to play. It's a place to enjoy. It's a place to have fun. There's no right or wrong. And through that exploration, you will find the right path for you. And at the end of the day, if you're smiling, you're happy. And if you're happy, whatever you do in the gym is correct. Fear of injury. Statistically, people injure themselves less in the gym lifting weights than they do playing contact sport. Or in fact, I think they do playing any kind of sport. So there's that. Yes, we all have horror stories. We all know of horror stories of people who have hurt their backs and damaged themselves irreversibly from the gym and stuff like that. But I assure you, you only remember those stories because they're the anomalies and they're the extreme. If you think, it's a bit like planes. We only ever hear about a plane crash. We never ever hear about the amount of planes that take off in a day and land in a day with no problems at all. The gym is a bit like that. You hear the bad stories, but think how many people walk in and out of a gym in your high street or in your community every day. How many of them do you think get injured? I mean, if it was that high an occurrence, gyms wouldn't be viable businesses. The gym is an environment that is designed to protect you from hurting yourself. It's an environment that is designed to protect you from injury. It's a place that is meant to help your movement all of your life. Plus, you're not likely, if you're a beginner, you're not likely to be lifting the kinds of weights that will really do that much damage to you in terms of hurting you in the gym. I mean, I've fallen off a treadmill at 18 kilometers an hour and lived to tell the tale. It hurt, but I got over it. And hurting yourself in the gym isn't a sign of you failing. It's just an annoying part of the process sometimes. So don't think that if you've hurt yourself, you're a failure, you should give up. Working out isn't for you, fitness isn't for you. It's nonsense. Okay? It's just one of those things that happens, and it's your body telling you, actually, we need to do a bit of work in this area. not that area. And if you can just view it like that, you'll be A-okay. Another huge reason you might be feeling scared about going to the gym is you're worried about judgment from others. Those big, strong, muscly men that look like they might be able to lift a small house are actually really nice guys. There's something about lifting weights that are that heavy, that humbles you, that makes you just appreciate anyone who's willing to work on yourself. Nice people, they really, really are. Even though they're lifting heavy weights, that doesn't define who they are. In the same way, when I was lifting very light weights, it didn't define who I was. What brought us all together was the fact that we was all working on ourselves and we was working for continual improvement. And as long as you're doing that in the gym, who cares? Another big reason people feel judged by others is because you're judging yourself a lot. And the more you judge yourself, the more you think others are judging you. But believe me, you'll walk into the gym and you'll feel very intimidated by all the mirrors, and you're constantly worried about yourself. You're thinking this about yourself, you're thinking that about yourself, and everything else. That's your experience. And that's also the experience of everyone else in the gym. Everyone in the gym is self-obsessed. Because it's a place for you to develop yourself. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. No one is looking at you more than you're looking at yourself. I assure you. No one is judging you more than you're judging yourself. So the more you can repair that relationship with you, the less judged you'll feel from others, because they're not actually judging you. I remember I had a client in the gym and we was working on jumps onto a step, and she was a bit scared and she jumped onto a step. It was only a little step, but she jumped onto it and she fell over. And I remember saying, stop right there. She went, what have I done? I went, look around. She was like, what? I was like, and what's happened? Not a single person was looking at her. And the reason you feel judged is because you're worried about yourself. The second you can realize the reasons you're there is for your own development, and the quicker you realize that you're there to develop yourself and it's a process, then you won't feel like you're being judged from others. And also ask yourself this: would I care what these people think about me if I met them down the street? And the answer is no. It's just a building. It's a building that's designed to help you. There's personal trainers on hand, literally chomping at the bit to show you how to do an exercise. There's machines that make movement safe and easy for you, yet still add a stimulus that's going to help you progress your body. There's mirrors. The mirrors are there so you can see what your body is doing so that you don't hurt yourself. And yes, I understand you might find mirrors intimidating. You might not like looking at yourself, but you can still put together a great workout away from the mirrors. I've had many clients in the gym where I've had to work out with them away from mirrors because of this issue. Slowly, over time, when they see themselves doing something amazing, they feel better about themselves and they start repairing that relationship with their own reflection. You're not being judged as much as you think you are by everybody else in the room. The person that's really judging you is you, and everyone in that room is as self-obsessed as you. So don't worry about it. When I was researching this video and the blog post I wrote, link is below by the way, there's a very unfortunate search term I came across that was, I'm too scared to go to the gym because I am fat. And that breaks my heart a little bit, because you're not fat. You're not. And the fact that you're even willing to Google that shows that you're someone who is willing to work on yourself. And that's great. That's huge. That's amazing. Now, the gym can be a really uncomfortable environment if you don't make it work for yourself. There are 1,000 ways to skin the cat in fitness. All right, you can replace any exercise with another exercise just as easily. You don't have to do the one that is written. You can do what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel happy, because that's why you should be there. Another thing I want to say about if you feel like you are too fat to go to the gym, I can't imagine what it must be like to be in that position. Personally, I just can't. You have my deepest empathy. But if that is genuinely how you feel, then just getting there, putting your foot through the door, is the most incredible win there is. Don't have to go onto that gym floor and bust out the best workout you possibly can. You don't have to go in there and set PBs and impress anyone. If you're the kind of person who feels too fat to be in that environment, then just being able to get into that environment is the most astounding win there is. and that should be celebrated. And if you can just regularly get onto it, get onto the gym floor and do something, then the more you repeat that, the more confident you will become. As King Lear says, nothing can come of nothing. So something is always better than nothing. And you can do it, I promise you. I really promise you. Just keep working and you'll be okay. A huge reason you might feel scared about going to the gym is knowing what to do when you get there. It makes perfect sense, right? You've got over the barrier of actually signing up and with the contract and everything, then what do I do? How do I know what to do when I'm in the gym? Well, I like to follow a couple of rules. Number one is do what puts a smile on your face. Play. Enjoy. It's a playground. The word gymnasium comes from a Greek word. And that Greek word actually means to exercise naked. So just remember that. For as long as you remember everyone in the gym is there to exercise naked, it's like that classic, if you're scared about talking in front of people, just imagine them all naked. That's all you got to do. If you're scared about going to the gym, it's literally a place where you've just got to imagine everybody in front of you is naked. And then they're less intimidating to you. They're more vulnerable. There you go. What should you do when you get into the gym? Well, you can have a look on my website. You can have a look through my YouTube. I've got loads of articles about and videos about workouts for beginners, how to do push-ups, all kinds of stuff. But the truth is, the only way you're going to be consistent about going to the gym is if you enjoy what it is you're doing. If that means going every day, but only going for 2 minutes, go every day for 2 minutes. For as long as you're happy in what you're doing, I am no one to tell you what you're doing is wrong. And nor is anybody else. As long as you're happy. And if you're not happy in what you're doing, then invest some time in your new hobby of fitness and educate yourself. And that will keep you inspired. And that will then lead to more motivation for you to go to the gym. So if you're worried about what to do, put happiness and enjoyment first. And for as long as you do that, the rest will fall into place beautifully. Right, that's it from me. Thanks for watching the video. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. You can follow me on all of the social medias, or you can head to my website, www.thegymstarter.com. I train people online. I enjoy doing it. I'm known as the Gym Starter, and hopefully I'll see you again very, very soon. Ciao, ciao.